What is it?
Oh, good. I thought they captured you and got you with the shrink ray.
What are you talking about? Wag! Welcome back to the Red Ones Go Fasta. I'm old Big Mek, and there's another Big Mek out there. He's an imposter! That's right. Welcome back to the Red Ones Go Fasta. I am indeed old Big Mek, and yeah, we finally got news of the Ork Codex drop and the new character, and it is indeed a Big Mek. So let's take a look.
And this is indeed what they showed off. This is the new, they just call it a Big Mech. You can see he's got two different faces. He's got this super ugly swamp Age of Sigmar looking one. And he's got this much prettier face right here with a big old iron gob. A couple of different weapon options, a couple of different close combat options. But yeah, he is awesome. Awesome looking. The gun itself, frankly, is worthless. A one-shot ballistic skill 5 weapon just isn't going to do a darn thing, so hopefully he's got some sort of special rule that goes with him to make that better. But the shock boost is cool. This is really cool. Hopefully that works on the STOMPA as well. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, and then this is the Battleforce that's coming with it, and that's why I mentioned STOMPA. This Battleforce includes 10 of the new Monopose Ork Boys block, 10 Ludas, the super old kit that I totally thought was getting replaced, the new Big Mech, a truck, which everybody needs, and a STOMPA.
So what does all of that really mean? Well, we're not sure yet. Other than the Adeptus Mechanicus, every other army has gotten a bigger release for 10th edition. Obviously, Space Marines and Tyranids both got a massive range refresh. Dark Angels got a huge range refresh. Necron's got a couple of models on a new combat patrol and stuff like that. So there's been a lot of changes. AdMech was the only one to get like a single model, and that range frankly is kind of in a weird spot, and who knows what's coming out later if they do indeed release the Dark Mechanicus like they're hinting at. So yeah, we were definitely expecting more than one new thing for the Orks. Now, what could be happening here is we get one new thing now with this box, and then kind of some more stuff later on once the Codex itself actually gets ready to drop. We saw a similar kind of with the Dark Angels. They actually announced a bunch of stuff, but then when the Codex came, they got a bunch more stuff. So there was that launch box that had the 1 or 2 new units of Dark Angels in it, and then a bunch of the other new Terminators. And then now you can get all the like special characters and things like that. So have no fear. Do not abandon Gork and Mork. Keep your hope. We'll probably still get more. And frankly, this isn't the only new character we got either, because we also, of course, got Uthak from Brutal Cunnin. So, you know, we did get him to use as a war boss as well. So, couple of options for characters. But yeah, we also have a new Battleforce box. And I'm of a mixed opinion on this one. And I'll tell you why. On the surface, it looks awful, right? It looks like, oh, these are the things that have been sitting on the shelf forever. They can't sell them. Stompas are terrible in the game. Ludas are terrible in the game. Nobody wants Monopose Boys. Why are they money locking the new Codex and the new Big Mech in this box? And then I got to thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And one, it pairs really, really, really well with the Combat Patrol. You got a big old Stompy now that can go do some damage. You've got a truck that some boys can ride around in. You got a couple of squads of boys, a couple of squads of Ludas / Burnas. You know, it all kind of melds together. Now, the really interesting part about all that is, of course, the Combat Patrol comes with the Warboss in Mega Armor, and you really need to get a squad of Mega Knobs to go with him, right? Because that's what he has to lead. Interestingly, this new Big Mech is not a Big Mech in Mega Armor. He's very clearly not in Mega Armor. So he's probably going to be leading the Ludas or something like that. But anyways, if you get the Combat Patrol and you get this Battleforce and you get a box of Mega Knobs, those Mega Knobs and the War Boss can ride around in the STOMPA. Right? That's pretty cool. And then you got the truck that can go riding around with the Ludas. or possibly the Burnas with the Big Mek. That could be a lot of fun. You got 2 squads of boys out doing, objective controlling stuff. You got your Def Copters out doing Def Copter things, and your Def Dread out doing Def Dread things, and that's a pretty dang solid army. It really is. So who knows what we're going to see. And also, the thing that throws me on this box, when people say that it's all, shelf filler, the truck has been perpetually backordered for almost a year now. Everybody needs 6 trucks. Every time a truck comes up, people buy it. Putting the truck in there is a really high value unit as far as money, people wanting to buy. So yeah, I kind of like the Battleforce. And even though I already own a Stompy, and even though I already got plenty of Ludas and Burnas, and even though I don't need any more Monopose boys, I'm probably still going to get it. Because I did buy that Stompa used. And I would like to build my own and do some kit bashing to it. And then I could have one that's Corky style and one that's Morky style. It could be a lot of fun. But also, getting the new Codex as soon as it comes out. I mean, come on. And it's a Big Mek. And I am old Big Mek. They made a model of me. So yeah, that's the great big gigantic Ork news. We finally have a Codex on the way in an army box. Funnily enough, Games Workshop also released a single model on an army. Did they do an army box? I gotta double check that. Yeah, I remember, right? They did. So yeah, Custodes, which is supposed to be the Codex after Orcs and before Tau, also got a single new character, the Shield Captain, and a new Battleforce. I don't know that Custodes is going to get much more than that. That range is actually fairly new, fairly complete. There's no missing models or resin models or anything like that. So that's kind of the other one that we thought might be only getting a single model. But yeah, so they also got a model on a Battleforce. So we have no idea, because we know that there's the Crew Army box coming, and we've got these 2 Battleforces now. Are all 3 of these going to hit at the same time? Is that how these codexes are going to come out? It's really interesting. The thing that makes that kind of difficult right now is that now we are in tournament season, right? You've got LVO has already happened. You've got Come Open and Adepticon and the other Opens and the other GTs. So when these codexes drop is going to be important on whether or not that codex can be played at that grand tournament. But also, if the codexes are all locked into these Battleforce boxes, these tournament players are going to have to spend a lot of money to get those codexes to have that advantage. So I don't know how I feel about that one. But anyways, for me, for a non-meta player, for somebody who barely plays the game, let's be honest, I'm all here for collecting and building and painting and then having super casual games with my friends. Doesn't matter. The Battleforce box looks cool. Probably get it anyway. Because, you can never have too many boys or too many Stompas. But yeah, that's the big news, and that's really exciting. Like I said, I am hoping for more. I made a whole video on all the things that I think Orcs should be getting this time around, because we do have one of the oldest ranges in all of 40K. We've got probably the highest number of resin models left, the old Failcast stuff, and I know G-Dub wants to get rid of that, so we've got numerous units that are old enough to drink, let alone vote, so, it's aging in the teeth there, here and there, so hopefully Orcs still get some more, but even if they don't, the Big Mech's a cool model, the Codex is exciting. Maybe they'll finally fix the Stompa. Really, the Stompa plays well. He's just way too many points. They just bring the points value down. Stompa's gold. So, that'll be fun. And yeah, we're going to get some new detachments. Maybe we'll have a Death Dread attachment. Maybe we'll have a Speed Buggy detachment. I'm just really excited for all of that. Despite the letdown of them copying me into a Big Mech and making that the only model. But hey, All right, moving on. We talked about the Orcs. We mentioned the Custodes. The other 2 things from Warhammer Worlds, there was a Warcry, Warband, or I don't know, something like that. The Gunner Brand guy, he was from one of the Warhammer Plus episode things. Pretty cool looking. But way cooler is Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl has been on an absolute tear with minis lately, and this new lawn gnome team is hilarious and super well detailed. If you're on Instagram at all, go find Savage Orc Guy. That's Louise Sugden, Rogue Hobbies. She went to Warhammer World right away and filmed all of the minis up close. And like, there's a hedgehog on one of them, and like an old boot in the tree guy. Like, there are so many cool details. I don't play Blood Bowl. Every time they release something, I want it. Like, just to have the minis. Like, I really wanted the beer boar, and now like the crazy goose that comes with the lawn gnomes. I think I'm just gonna have to buy a couple of these to paint them and just have some fun. I bet the Grots would like some lawn gnomes. I don't know. They're really cool. They're really cool. It's a cool thing. It's just funny, and you guys know I like the funny. So yeah, that's all the news from the Warhammer World Anniversary and the big news about the orcs. Like I said, I kind of had to collect my thoughts on it a bit because, you know, I did predict so much was going to change. And I still think a bunch can change. Like I said, Dark Angels kind of came out in 2 waves. Tyranids came out in 2 waves. Like, you know, just because they've shown us this doesn't mean that's it. I mean, even the Kroot and Tau, even though we got a whole Kroot army, which is super awesome, we all totally expect to see some more Tau coming too. I mean, there's that Store Anniversary Ethereal, but other than that, the old Ethereal is old and not very good looking, and they have a couple other units like that. So we could totally see Tau getting, you know, a couple, 2, 3 units at least to round out their army with their Codex release. But of course, they won't be new units, and I think really that's kind of the kicker we're talking about here is. Everything that's been shown off first and has come in the first Battleforces has been something brand spanking new. So like this Big Mek, even though we've had Big Mechs forever, he's new. We've never had the lifted droppa as a thing. The exosuit thing is new. So they kind of have to show him off because as soon as people get the Codex and link the Codex, you're going to see that there's all this new stuff and this new character. Same thing with the Dark Angels. You had instead of the Fallen, they were the Redeemed or whatever they were. And so they really had to show us that. And then, you know, all the characters that were just getting a new model, but were the same character that's been out forever, you know, totally works. So, you know, same thing like with the Tau. You know, you get all this new Kroot army, but if they're just replacing a couple of old sculpts with new sculpts, you know, like the Ethereal, you know, they could show us that later because the Codex could come out first, and that's fine. It's not going to materially change what's going on. So, fingers crossed. Gork and work well, and we'll see some more orcs for the 10th edition. But yeah, our Codex is finally on the horizon, boys. So, gas up your buggies, feed your squiggies, or don't feed them if you want them to be extra hungry and charge faster. And get ready because it's going to be on real soon. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. We do have a whole bunch of cool stuff coming up this month in March. Those of you that are of the beaky type know that it is...
March from Crag!
That's right, buddy. It's March from a Crag. So we'll be doing some Ultramarine stuff with Grot number 1 here and totally being a part of that. And then the other thing of March is Forward March, which is all about Imperial Guard. So that's what you got coming up here on Red Ones Go Fast. And of course we'll have Orcs too, because Orcs is best. All right, guys. You know what's left. Until next time, Wagon! That's right. All my little blah, 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 blah.